Welcome back to Eyes Lamel Family Field. If you're tuning in for Brevard College men's soccer USA South Conference championship action, the reason for the late start, this game originally scheduled for a 6:30 p.m. start, well, the women's game that preceded this went to double overtime and all the way to penalty kicks. Ultimately, Brevard defeating Meredith in penalty kicks to take the first round women's soccer win. And that brings us to the men's side as the Tornadoes hosting Pfeiffer University, a 4-5 matchup in the USA South Conference Championship Tournament. We are about 8 minutes away from the announcing of starting lineups, and then we'll get things going. Tornadoes and Falcons. Men's soccer, USA South Conference Tournament, first round. And gentlemen, and welcome to Ives Lamel Family Field on the campus of Brevard College for this USA South Conference Championship Tournament matchup, first round matchup between the Pfeiffer Falcons and the Brevard College Tornadoes. Now let's meet the starting lineup for both sides. First for the Pfeiffer Falcons, number 8, Xander Eford. Number 9, Asuncio Gonzalez. Number 10, Mateo Lata. Number 12, Nico Soriano. Number 14, Jacob Rocha. Number 20, Fleming James. Number 22, Alex Michael. Number 24, Andres Valdez. Number 27, Andre Rosales. Number 32, Diego Moran. And number 99, Ali Jafar. Head coach of the Falcons is Tony Faticoni. Assistant coach is Scott Morgan. And now the starting lineup for your Brevard College Tornadoes. Number 1, Mateos Rossi. Number 3, Sam O'Callahan. Number 4, Rodrigo Garcia. Number 6, Rocco Barbone. Number 8, Kawe Dos Santos. Number 17, Tom DeSuge. Number 19, Igor Da Silva. Number 23, Luis Portillo. Number 24, Ryan Lynch. Number 26, Marcos Silva. Number 27, Daniel Morgan. Tornadoes are under the direction of head coach El Dana, assistant coach Mario Pinto, Brady Tesh, and Scott Douglas. The athletic trainer is Noah Reisig. Welcome to Ives Lamel Family Field for USA South Conference Tournament. First round action, the Pfeiffer Falcons and the Brevard College Tornadoes about to square off after an absolute thriller in women's soccer when the Tornadoes defeated Meredith in penalty kicks alongside Melody Ferguson. Melody, what a night of soccer here at Ives Lamel Family Field.
It's a big thriller night, pun intended for it being Halloween. We got women's soccer earlier today, coming away with a win after penalty kicks. And now we have an exciting matchup here today with the men's soccer team against the Pfeiffer Falcons.
Yeah, it should be a big-time matchup between these two, and really looking forward to this action. Now, both these teams had to kind of delay their warm-ups a little bit. This game was expected to start about 50 minutes ago, and instead we're getting going. It's about 7:20 p.m. Eastern Time. But both teams were watching the action of that women's game, and just an absolutely electric scene as the Tornadoes won in penalty kicks. Well, this matchup between the Tornadoes and the Falcons, just moments away, USA South Conference first round action. These two teams met earlier this season, a 4-2 Brevard win on the road at Pfeiffer. That was back on October the 4th, and Rocco Barbone, Ryan Lynch, Daniel Morgan, and actually Ryan Lynch had an additional goal via penalty kick, and a pretty dominant win by the Tornadoes, 4-2. And now we are underway here at Islamel Family Field. Tornadoes in the white uniforms with the blue shorts. Some silver trimming and silver numerals. And getting things going here with the opening possession are the Tornadoes. Switch of the field. And a miss there. And there was a bit of a clock malfunction at the start of this game. We'll see if we get a reset of the clock, as the clock failed to get started on its proper cue there. So we're letting some extra time run off here to make up for the difference. So no harm done. 44-30 to play here, just getting underway here in the first half of play. Head referee syncing the scoreboard clock with his clock. And now we are ready to roll here as we're all on the same time. 44-10 and counting. Brevard and Pfeiffer. USA South Conference first round action. Goal kick from Pfeiffer. Battle for it around midfield there. Rosales came up with it for the Falcons. Now Michael playing it back to the goalkeeper, Jafar. There's Soriano. Back to Jafar. Headed forward by Sam O'Callahan. What a presence he's had throughout his Tornado career. Here's Ryan Lynch. Lynch attracting a crowd. He's got 3 Pfeiffer defenders on him. He's able to find the open man there, then firing off a shot. Tornadoes with an early strike there. I believe that might have been Dos Santos. Here comes Pfeiffer the other direction. Valdez firing off a shot. So both teams with an early chance here in the first 2.5 minutes of this contest. In fact, it was Dos Santos the other direction. Meanwhile, here's Igor Da Silva. Da Silva likewise attracting a crowd. Lynch lets it slip behind him. Portillo, the freshman from Miami, plays it towards the goal mouth. It's scooped up by Jafar. Tony Faticoni is the head coach of Pfeiffer in his 7th season, a Rutgers graduate. Tornadoes, of course, under the direction of Coach L. Dana, assisted by Mario Pinto, Brady Tesh, and Scott Douglas. 3:15 to play here. O'Callahan, some tight defense there on Moran. Here's Rocha. Rocha playing it forward. DeSuge tries to win it in the air, but it comes down at the foot of the Pfeiffer striker. Here's Moran, but DeSuge takes it away. Well done defensively, Tom DeSuge, the native of France. Here's Garcia. O'Callahan. Played off the Pfeiffer defender. It'll be a Tornado throw-in. Ball is in the grandstand area at the moment. Now into the hands of O'Callahan. Gonzalez is shaken up on the play as Moran is consoling him. Might have taken a hard ball directly to the head area. Clock is stopped at 40:38. So Kareem NJ checks in for the Falcons as Gonzalez steps off. So just over 5 minutes have elapsed here. Both teams continue to feel themselves out. Meanwhile, each team with one shot. Valdez for Pfeiffer and Dos Santos for the Tornadoes. Both nice chances, both powerful shots, but also saves by the two goalkeepers. Rossi for the Tornadoes and Jafar for the Falcons. Here's Lata. Taken away by Rocco Barbone. But taken right back away by Lata. Here's Moran. Was trying to do a bit of a give and go back to Lata, but ball skips out of bounds. Throw in for the NATOs. Brevard, the fourth seed in the USA South Conference Championship Tournament. Pfeiffer, the fifth seed. Rocha plays it back to Eford. Soriano now using Michael. Michael. Ambitious switch of the field, played in the air by O'Callahan. Silva tried to volley it away. Pfeiffer continuing to attack. Pfeiffer with a significant chance there. That was Mateo Lata with the shot with the left foot. Wide off that far post. Lata, junior midfielder from Vestal, New York. Transfer from SUNY Cortland. That's the State University of New York, Cortland campus. 38 minutes and counting. First half. In a big matchup here. One team will advance. The other, their season will be done. Back to those USA South Conference seedings quickly here. As nice play there defensively by the Tornadoes. That was Marco Silva. Methodist is the 1 seed. NC Wesleyan the 2 seed. William Peace seed number 3. Brevard and Pfeiffer, the 4-5 seeds, facing off here. Now Garcia playing it far to that far left wing to Ryan Lynch, but taken away by the Pfeiffer defender. Michael playing it back. Rocha. Barbone trying to settle things down with Silva. He's going to play it back to Rossi. Here's O'Callahan. O'Callahan. Well done to find Lynch. Lynch did a nice job staying on side there. Now juggling the soccer ball, attracting a group of Falcon defenders, firing off a shot there is Igor da Silva, and just off the mark. Some good chances thus far for the Tornadoes. Rossi coming out of his goal mouth. Nice job there. And now uses his arm. Beautiful throw by Rossi to find Da Silva. Then Daniel Morgan was trying to connect with Garcia, but nobody home. And Pfeiffer will regroup from the back. Both these teams, you can feel the energy from both. A lot of, hop in the steps of these two teams. Sometimes you need to channel that energy and, make the precision play. Meanwhile, here's Rocha. Rocha playing it forward. Valdez. Nice job by Sam O'Callahan. Once again, had that defensive fullback position. Meanwhile, Da Silva with the steal. Igor Da Silva playing a long ball to in open Ryan Lynch, but he's offsides this time. Pfeiffer able to catch Ryan Lynch offside, the all-time goal scorer in Brevard College Tornado history. And did you notice anything there and so far this matchup, Melody?
So far in this matchup between Pfeiffer and Brevard, I've noticed that both teams are very eager to find the back of the net first. You can tell everyone's trying to get into the attacking third, find the back of the net, test the goalkeepers. Because if you can test the goalkeepers, that's where you find out where their strengths and weaknesses are.
Yeah, both teams with 2 shots thus far, so a couple of early tests to those goalkeepers. Meanwhile, ball was blasted about all the way to Kings Creek. That's a long run for whoever's got ball duties. Meanwhile, here's Moran. Moran plays it back to Rosales. Opening here for Pfeiffer, that dangerous situation. O'Callahan plays it through the middle. It's a bit of a no-no, but I don't think he had any option there on the defensive side. And then a hard foul by Pfeiffer. Dos Santos drawing the foul. It'll be a free kick for the Tornadoes. Rocco Barbone will do the honors. Rocco Barbone, the junior defender from Italy, did his schooling in the Netherlands. Also has lived all over the world, including Asia. Meanwhile, shot here, just off the mark. Ryan Lynch firing from range. 32:45 to play. Half number 1. Brevard and Pfeiffer. Here's Rocha. Rocha playing it forward. Played out of bounds there by O'Callahan. So it'll be a throw-in for Pfeiffer. Rocha will do the honors. Rocha using Eford. Da Silva. Da Silva plays it forward. Some nifty footwork by Portillo. Now Rodrigo Garcia has it taken away by the Falcons. Playing it forward, there's Rosales. Here's Moran. Rosales. O'Callahan once again. What a defensive stopper he's been so far this evening. 31-25 to play. Southern Virginia, the 6th seed, is taking on William Peace this evening. We'll keep an eye on that score as well. That's the 3 and the 6 seed. And the winner of this game will travel to number 1 seed Methodist. That matchup will be on Thursday. That's actually where the women's team will be heading on Thursday as well. 30-45 to play. Valdez. Here's Moran. Moran's been active thus far. Rocha. Rosales once again. Michael plays it forward to Fleming James, the freshman from New Orleans. Rocha with the throw in, uses Eford. Here's Alex Michael. Michael and Fleming James, both from New Orleans, both from the same high school, Benjamin Franklin. Offsides flag is up, so each team has experienced an offsides thus far. Still in the early goings of this one. After a marathon on the women's side, 2 overtimes and penalty kicks. Congratulations again to the Tornado women's soccer team advancing. Igor da Silva. Dos Santos. Luis Portillo. Here's Ryan Lynch. Lynch playing it forward. He's trying to use Dos Santos. Then right back to Lynch. Opportunity here. Would have potentially been an own goal off Pfeiffer. Daniel Morgan was there offensively for the Tornadoes. And Lynch is going to take the corner, and the Pfeiffer defender playing with fire.
Yeah, playing with fire like that right in front of your goal mouth is very dangerous, especially in a high-stakes game.
Corner kick here from Lynch. Headed out by the Pfeiffer defense. Here's Garcia. O'Callahan. This is his sweet spot in terms of his ability with the cross, with the assist, the long pass. He played it in there trying to find either Morgan or Lynch. 27-30 to play. Pretty equal ball game so far. Each team with 3 shots. We've seen each team with about the same amount of possession. All-time series between these two squads. They've played a grand total of 11 times in their history, a 6-4-1 advantage for the Tornadoes, including a 4-game winning streak. And Rossi outside of his goal, plays it with his foot initially. Great awareness of that penalty box, and then is able to pick it up and use his arm again. He's very proficient with these throws, finding the open tornado in the midfield, meanwhile. Another takeaway for Pfeiffer. Alex Michael. Barbone clears it out. Garcia tries to bring it down. De Silva plays it off the bounce. Now Silva playing it forward, was looking for Garcia. Keeping it inbounds there is Rocha. Jacob Rocha, sophomore from Clearwater, Florida, Countryside High School. Just over 26 minutes to play, and a foul there. See if it's a foul or just a throw-in, but and looks like it indeed will be a throw-in. O'Callahan will send it forward. De Silva. Daniel Morgan. Silva playing it forward. Tom DeSuge on the defensive end. Had a lot of faith in Barbone and DeSuge and O'Callahan back there in the back. A lot of experience, a lot of skill with those two. Going to make it tough on these Falcon attackers all evening long. Eford playing it to Rocha. Rocha playing it up the left wing. On the move is Moran, and then very skillfully played off of Moran. That was Barbone. It'll be a tornado throw-in. Tornadoes volleyball also in action this evening. They're at Greensboro. So fall sports still cranking here on the campus of Brevard College. It's Halloween, by the way. Happy Halloween, however you may celebrate. Greensboro took the win over the Tornadoes on the volleyball side in 3 sets. Safe travels back to Brevard for Tornadoes. Chilly evening. It feels a lot colder than what the temperature keeps telling us. It's currently 50 degrees, but with the wind and some dampness in the air, it feels a lot colder than 50. You see people bundled up with multiple layers. And imperative that these players, after what was a few weeks of warm weather, keep their bodies loose. Muscles loose in this cold weather, keep themselves warmed up. Meanwhile, Pfeiffer with a bit of a possession of their own. Valdez, played out by Barbone. Opportunity here for the NATOs on a counterattack. Played forward to Ryan Lynch. Lynch pushed from behind, but no call. And then a slide tackle by Garcia. Cleared out by Pfeiffer. Nobody home, though, except Barbone, who's going to control it from the Tornadoes from the back. Here's Silva. Silva. Up to Da Silva. Igor Da Silva. Played out of bounds there by Rocha. It'll be another Tornado throw-in. 22 minutes, 35 seconds to play. Half number 1, a scoreless USA South Conference first-round matchup. Igor Da Silva plays that off a Pfeiffer defender. It's going to be a corner for the NATOs. So another opportunity here for Brevard. It'll be Ryan Lynch handling the corner kick again. The second corner of the match for the NATOs. Pfeiffer yet to take a corner kick. You see Barbone and Da Silva. Da Silva got a piece of that. Had a strong header went off a Pfeiffer defender, and it's going to be another corner for the Tornadoes. Lynch plays it quickly. Now firing off a shot. That was Dos Santos. Now Silva. Taken away by Pfeiffer. Pfeiffer now trying a counterattack of their own. Tornadoes defense trying to hustle back. O'Callahan plays it wide. Pfeiffer, Alex Michael plays it, but once again taken by O'Callahan. Nice job, O'Callahan. Great help defense, making his way back. You know, he plays on the right side. He went all the way to the left side on the defensive end to make sure the Tornadoes took care of business in the back. Barbone. Here's Daniel Morgan. Ryan Lynch. Lynch up ahead, was looking for De Silva. Here's Soriano. Jafar will settle things down for Pfeiffer from the back. A couple of subs getting ready to go for Pfeiffer meanwhile. Looks like Benji Landaverde. Actually, a grand total of 3 subs. Cade Van Eden. And Jaden Wright as well. So next opportunity for Pfeiffer. We'll see those subs. And in fact, here they come now.
Entering the match for the Falcons, Cade Van Eden,
Number 16,
Benji Landaverde, and Jaden Wright. Falcons adding some fresh legs into this matchup with 19 minutes and 20 seconds left to play here in the first half.
Yeah, still yet to see a Tornado substitution. Coach Aldana sticking with his starting 11 so far, but we've seen some subs for Pfeiffer. And Pfeiffer switching fields there. It's Rosales. He'll play it back to Rocha. Rosales once again. Ambitious ball there. Brought down nicely by Pfeiffer. Some of those fresh legs. Van Eden getting in on it. Here's Rosales, meanwhile. Double teamed by the Tornadoes. Cross there and the finish. Benji Landaverde. So Benji Landaverde with the go-ahead goal with 18:22 to play. Credit the assist to Rosales. And Landaverde breaks the deadlock. And the Pfeiffer bench celebrates. Tornadoes now are going to have to come from behind. Barbone is pushed up into a striker position. Barbone now going up high. Barbone made the switch with Marco Silva. So Silva now in that sweeper position. He's got DeSuge to his right. And Barbone pushes way up. DeSuge. Plays it forward to Garcia. Garcia. Uses O'Callahan. Nice pressure by the Pfeiffer attacker. Oh. And O'Callahan will reset. That was Jaden Wright, one of those reserves who had just entered the contest. Barbone making his presence known already after that position switch. Falcons with a 1-0 lead. The goal by Benjamin Landaverde, assisted by Rosales. And it's going to be a foul on Rocco Barbone. Barbone, one of the team captains. Meanwhile, Subgin set to check in for the NATOs. It'll be Colin McCabe, who we've seen in the starting lineup quite a bit this season, but not in the lineup to start this matchup this evening. As Portillo got the nod. But it looks like McCabe ready to go, warmed up. Meanwhile, 16 minutes and counting here in the first half. Pfeiffer with the 1-0 lead. Entering the match for your Tornadoes, number 21.
Entering the match for the Tornadoes is Colin McCabe.
So McCabe checking in. McCabe, the sophomore from Milledgeville, Georgia. Transfer to Brevard. And opportunity there. So McCabe with an early opportunity there. Yeah, trying some different things with the formation of the Tornadoes as De Silva, Barbone, Lynch, of course, all pushed up. You see McCabe pushing way up as well. And this is the sort of urgency you need down 1-0 in a win-or-go-home type scenario. 14-10 to play here. First half, 1-0 Falcons. Jafar reset from the back. Barbone applying some pressure. Eford uses Alex Michael. Michael plays it forward. Brought down nicely by Portillo. Portillo showing some of his skill. Luis Portillo, the freshman from Miami, Florida, the 305 out of Doral Academy. What a season he's had, his freshman campaign. By the way, McCabe replaced Garcia. Rosales, Eford, Michael, and Fleming. Fleming James, that is. Dangerous situation from the Tornadoes' perspective there. Then blasted out of bounds. Here come the Tornadoes. Trying to get something going using Barbone. Pfeiffer had numbers back defensively. Subkin set to go for the Nados. Looks like number 32, Jose Felipe Garces.
Jose Felipe Garces entering the match. He's going to replace Kawe Dos Santos. Garces going to go on that outside. McCabe going to push to the middle.
Yeah, some fresh legs for the Tornadoes, no doubt. Garces entering the contest. He replaces Kawe Dos Santos. So Coach Eldana trying some different combinations. Looking for that equalizer. Needs some offensive pressure to make it happen. Stolen away there by the Falcons. Meanwhile, another sub getting set to go. Looks like Aiden Miller. And I have an injured Falcon on the far side. So the clock will stop at 10:59. So the athletic trainer hasn't been summoned, so it looks like Benji Landa Verde, who actually scored the lone goal so far in this game, who was shaken up, looks like he's going to be okay to go. And we'll get things started here. 10:59 to play. Falcons with possession. Here's Alex Michael. Plays it back to Jafar. Barbone, some serious pressure. A little bit of contact there with the goalkeeper Jafar. No whistle. Meanwhile, some nice triangle work by the Pfeiffer Falcons, but taken away by the Tornadoes. Barbone had it momentarily. Was looking for McCabe. Now De Silva comes up with the loose ball. De Silva continuing to battle. And he is brought down to the turf. That's going to be a foul on the Falcons. Each team with 4 fouls thus far. And it'll be Ryan Lynch as clock stops at the 10:02 mark. And once again, Landa Verde, after he was hobbling before, now looks like he's going to hobble off. Meanwhile, sub for the Nados.
Aiden Miller checking in for the Tornadoes.
Aiden Miller. Entering the match for the Falcons, number 18, Jahari Dozier.
Jahari Dozier entering the match for the Falcons, taking off Benji Landaverde.
So Aiden Miller in, Portillo out. Meanwhile, free kick here from Lynch and going up high to pull that one down. The goalkeeper for Pfeiffer, Ali Jafar, junior out of Matthews, North Carolina. DeSuge plays it out with a lot of power, flips the field, and another sub coming for Pfeiffer. Entering the match for the Falcons, number 28, David Cabello.
David Cabello entering the match for the Falcons. He's going to check into that midfield role.
Falcons, a very young roster. Ton of freshmen. Along with a few sophomore, very few upperclassmen. Meanwhile, the Tornadoes, a lot of experience. Much of this team was part of the team that won the USA South Conference Championship Tournament last year, advanced all the way to the NCAA Division III National Tournament. First time in school history for that feat. But a 1-0 advantage for Pfeiffer so far. As here's Ryan Lynch along the left side. Lynch beats one defender, crosses, and was looking for Jose Felipe Garces, the freshman from Panama City, Panama. Nice idea from Lynch to cross that towards Garces.
You're going to see that a lot from the Tornadoes. They're going to look to find Ryan Lynch, and Ryan Lynch is going to create a lot of attacking opportunities, crosses like that, like the one you just saw, or just even striking the ball on goal as well. As you said in the beginning, Ryan Lynch, one of the all-time goal scorers here at Brevard.
Yeah, and Lynch often attracts a crowd of defenders, which if you just play the arithmetic of it all, someone has to be open. If they're double, triple, even quadruple teaming Ryan Lynch, who I think everyone in the conference by this time knows is a lethal scorer. Meanwhile, shot there, high, and through the football goalpost. As firing off that shot was Fleming James, the freshman from New Orleans, showing some power of his own, but not on the goal. Looks like Pfeiffer getting another sub ready to go. Samir Bilal getting set to check in. O'Callahan. Nice job defensively there. Great tackle, and the foul was actually on Pfeiffer. Meanwhile, here's Garces. Garces. Brilliant move along the near sideline. Here's Igor Da Silva. Igor Da Silva looking for Ryan Lynch in that left wing position. And off the Pfeiffer defender, another corner kick that Lynch will take. This is the fourth corner for the Tornadoes. You see Daniel Morgan pushing up, Marco Silva, Aiden Miller. You've got all 10 Tornado field players on the attacking half of the field. You've got 9 of the 10 in the attacking third. You've got about 7 Tornadoes in the actual goal box. And here's Lynch crossing it in, and the goal. The goal for the Tornadoes. Aiden Miller with the finish. Tornadoes goal. Tornadoes goal number.
Entering the match for the Falcons after that, it's going to be Samir Bilal. He's going to go on that outside back side. Outside back on the far hand side.
Big time finish there off the Lynch cross by Aiden Miller.
Big equalizer there for the Tornadoes. And if you saw in that last play, every single person up in there was right in front of the goalkeeper. So that ball was...
Yeah, just a fantastic ball by Lynch. And then the finish from Aiden Miller. Big time equalizer there. We're all knotted up at 1. Brand new ball game. Here with 5 minutes to play in the opening half, this place just absolutely erupted. Aiden Miller, a fan favorite as it is, every time he gets announced and comes into the game, the crowd cheers. And, typically a defender, doesn't get too many of these scoring opportunities. And, in fact, his first career goal. So, what a big-time performance, Aiden Miller. What a time to come up with your first career collegiate goal. The junior Aiden Miller out of Peterborough, New Hampshire. And we're all tied up at 1 just like that.
Miller playing on the back line as that outside back. So having him push up, providing opportunities for the attack, getting that first collegiate goal in a big game moment like this, that's got to be memorable for him.
Yeah, and got to credit Coach Eldana. He was trying all sorts of combinations. He brought in Miller off the bench. He pushed up, several of his attackers who he knew could play it in the air, several of whom, have the length to get up high and that kind of thing. Miller, one of them, and Miller drills it home. What a goal. And credit the assist to Lynch, who continues to add to his fantastic career totals here at Brevard College. Lynch, that was his 10th assist of his career. He's got a school record 33 goals. His 76th point of his career. So he gets it done in all sorts of ways. You alluded to that, Melody, as far as the kind of things he can do. Not just score the goal, but set up his teammates and also just attract attention from the defenders opening up his teammates. Meanwhile, we're all tied up, so can't let your foot off the pedal now, because now both teams looking for a go-ahead goal. But certainly you feel the momentum shift quite a bit. Down to 2 minutes to play in this opening half. Barbone up front. Ryan Lynch has been working that left wing all evening. Down to 95 seconds in this opening half. Silva tried to play it forward in the direction of Barbone. Garces plays it forward. Pfeiffer on the defensive end. Soriano. Here's Igor Da Silva. Da Silva from distance. Beautiful shot from Da Silva, and even a better save from Jafar.
Garces with a cross.
1 minute. 1 minute remaining, first half. Yeah, Garces. Big impact so far as well. Pfeiffer trying to counterattack here. Here's Eford. Dozier. Back to Eford. Eford tries to cross it with his left foot. Rossi's going to go off of his line. A Pfeiffer Falcon takes a fumble. And now some whistles. And a quick start for the Tornadoes. Starting to get chippy here late in this first half. 10, 9,
Da Silva.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4.
Cabello. Defended by McCabe. As time dwindles down, that ball's going to roll out of bounds. Score at halftime. Tornadoes 1. Falcons 1.
Yeah, compelling first half. Each team with a goal. And 1-1, all tied up at halftime. Stick with us. We'll bring you all the halftime numbers and the second half of action shortly.
It's important to study English because
history
Back here at Lamel Family Field, moments away from the start of the second half. Tornadoes and Falcons in this USA South Conference Championship Tournament first-round matchup, all knotted up at 1. First goal of the game came in the 27th minute. Benjamin Landaverde on an assist by Andre Rosales gave the Falcons a 1-0 lead. And then in one of the more exciting goals we've seen here at Lamel Family Field, off a cross on a corner kick, Lynch played it short, then received the ball directly back to him, crossed it, basically had the effect of a corner kick, and then Aiden Miller slammed it home with a beautiful offensive header. And just like that, the Tornadoes tied this match up 1-1. That was in the 40th minute. Two teams continue to battle for those final 5 minutes of the first half, bringing us to the 1-1 score at the half. Tornadoes with 9 shots, in fact, a 9-5 shot advantage. 4 of the 9 shots on goal. Igor da Silva with 3 shots. Cauê dos Santos had 2 shots. Lynch and Barbone each with a shot. And then Aiden Miller and Colin McKay both came off the bench with a shot. Of course, Miller's finding the back of the net. We mentioned the 5 shots for Pfeiffer from 5 different players. Lada, James, Valdez, Rosales, and Landaverde, who scored. Goalkeepers in this one, Mateos Rossi for the Tornadoes, was very active, but it required just 1 save. And meanwhile, Ali Jafar has touched the ball several times as well. 3 saves for Jafar. Tornadoes took 4 corner kicks in that first half. No corner kicks for the Falcons. And pretty even in terms of fouls. Falcons with 6 fouls, Tornadoes with 4 fouls. Slight edge to Pfeiffer in the possession numbers, 54% to 46%, but very close in that department as well. There were 0 yellow or red cards in the first half. Always good to see. And we'll get things started here in the second half in just a couple final moments here as a final huddle for the Tornado players. Hey, big congratulations to Justin Espino winning the Halloween costume contest here at Brevard College, and our very own Melody Ferguson, the runner-up. So, press box staff finishing 1-2 in the Halloween costume contest. So back underway here at Lamel Family Field. A lot of fun this evening. Halloween night, a doubleheader in soccer. The women's team with the win in penalty kicks over Meredith, an absolute Halloween thriller in game 1 of this twin bill. And now men's soccer action, Pfeiffer and Brevard. One team will advance to play the top seed Methodists, and the other team's season will end tonight. High drama here at Lamel Family Field. Here's Silva playing it forward. Garcia. Barbone. Plays it back to O'Callahan. O'Callahan is trying to make a very precise pass there to Barbone. Now Barbone getting tied up a little bit there with the Falcon. That was Rosales. Here's Valdez. Ryan Lynch with a takeaway. Lynch now cutting back to his right, finding the open player, Garcia. Garcia was looking for Barbone with the cross. And off the foot of Da Silva, it'll be Pfeiffer ball. 43:30 to play here, second half. Glad you're able to join us wherever you may be tuning in from. Pfeiffer trying to get things started from the back. Alex Michael plays it forward. Rosales. Eford. Here's Fleming James. Fleming James plays it back to Alex Michael. Michael once again. Barbone applying some pressure. Here's Eford. Mateos Rossi coming off his line. Nicely done to intercept that ball from the Falcons. Meanwhile, resetting things, the goalkeeper, Ali Jafar, for the Pfeiffer Falcons. Tornadoes under the direction of El Dana in his 5th season here at Brevard. Brevard, the defending USA South Conference champions, looking to defend the title. It begins tonight in this first-round matchup versus Pfeiffer. Already past the 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time hour. This game started about 50 minutes behind schedule due to the length of the women's game. And a foul there and a stoppage of the clock. We may see a booking, and also going to have some athletic trainer assistance here. Rocco Barbone shaken up on the play. And continuing to receive attention. And Barbone's going to step off. Head athletic trainer Noah Reisig on the case. And looks like a sub getting set to go for the Tornadoes. For your Tornadoes, number 30.
Checking in for Brevard, Lamont Young Jr. will step into that center forward position for the Tornadoes.
Yeah, so quick decision there for Coach El Dana as Barbone came off with the aid of the athletic trainer, and quickly Lamont Young Jr., forward from Rock Hill, South Carolina, entering the contest. Nice defensive play there by Aiden Miller. Miller, who scored his first collegiate goal, the equalizer that the Tornadoes needed back in the 40th minute. As we're now in the 50th minute of this first round matchup. Meanwhile, some fancy dribbling there. And firing off a shot. And it's going to be a corner kick. Looked like it was Mateo Lata. Indeed, Lata. Some fancy moves there up front from Lata. And meanwhile, corner kick here. The first corner kick of the game for the Falcons. Diego Moran will handle those duties. Tornadoes marking up. And there was an opportunity there momentarily for the Falcons, as Alex Michael had an opportunity. Now here's Lata. Igor Da Silva was able to get a foot in the middle of all that and I think disrupt Lata's attack. Meanwhile, back the other way, here's Garcia. Ryan Lynch. Lynch cutting back to his right. Fires that off a Falcon defender. Attracting an absolute gang of Falcons. And played out of bounds by Silva. Rocco Barbone, good news there. It looks like he's ready to check back in. Tornado captain. 38-47 and counting here. Second half. As it'll be a goal kick for Brevard and sub coming in for the NATOs.
As mentioned before, Rocco Barbone entering back into the match.
So some quick relief duty there for Lamont Young Jr. Got to give Lamont a hat tip there. He was called into action very quickly. I don't even know if he had the chance to warm up at all. But good to see, meanwhile, Barbone back on the field. Such a key part of this Tornado, whether it's the attack or the defensive side, Barbone. And this could be a free kick for the NATOs. Right in Sam O'Callahan's sweet spot. He can set up his teammates, but he's going to play it short to Morgan. Trying to catch perhaps Pfeiffer off guard a little bit. Now, beautiful nutmeg by Lynch. Lynch then fires off a shot. It goes high. But some oohs and ahs from the crowd here at Eyes Lamel Family Field as Lynch with just a beautiful move there of the nutmeg variety. If you're not familiar with the nutmeg, that's when the dribble goes through the defender's legs. Kind of a high degree of difficulty there, and oftentimes players try it and they come up short. Meanwhile, Barbone. O'Callahan. Nice ball there to Barbone. Defended there by Pfeiffer's Michael, but it'll be out of bounds. Another corner kick for the NATOs. Corner kick number 5 for Brevard. And it'll be Lynch. Another offensive header from Aiden Miller. Big time save from Jafar just made a terrific save as Miller. That was a textbook offensive header. They teach you to head the ball down on the offensive side. You head it up on the defensive side. That's sort of the conventional wisdom. And Miller is looking for a second goal. Meanwhile, another opportunity on another corner kick. There was bodies flying there. Barbone was in the middle of all of that. And back the other way, Pfeiffer trying to work quickly with the throw-in. James. Moran. Morgan on the defensive end. Taken away by Da Silva. Da Silva uses Barbone up ahead to Lynch. Lynch on the left wing. Lynch taking on 3 defenders, and he's fouled, and this is going to be a set piece in the deep attacking zone for the NATOs. One of the more compelling set pieces we've seen. Lynch. Header there from Daniel Morgan. So it seems like the Tornado attack is very much in the air. That's where these attackers for the Tornado seem to be getting it done and creating these opportunities, whether it's from a corner kick or a set piece like that. And now another corner for the NATOs. The 7th of the contest. And it'll be Ryan Lynch once again. And Lynch played that ball beautifully, but there's a foul on one of the Tornado strikers. I believe it was on Daniel Morgan. And that was a beautiful ball by Lynch. That was one of those corners that almost went in on its own. It was bending towards that side netting on the inside side of that far post. 33 minutes, 50 seconds to play, second half. We are still tied up at 1, but you feel the Tornadoes knocking on the door and some frustration perhaps from Pfeiffer, the way this momentum is going, and hard foul there from Xander Eford. And no card. So Tornado bench also, some of the fans in attendance thought there should have been a booking there, but not the case. So meanwhile, Sam O'Callahan, we know he can whip these crosses in. He's got several attackers up there. You see Barbone dancing. Punched out by Jafar. And then right back to Jafar. 33-33 and counting. Yeah, stoppage of the clock here as Silva played that out of bounds. Pfeiffer little upset in their bench area. And now there's going to be a talking to Silva. Silva played it sharply out of bounds right towards the bench area. He's going to receive a card for that. So yellow card to Marco Silva. And now a free kick for Pfeiffer. Lata will do the duties. Mateo Lata will handle the free kick. Junior from Vestal, New York. Uses the left foot. Headed out by Garcia. DeSuge, beautiful tackle. Tom DeSuge, ladies and gentlemen. He plays it forward to Lynch. Tornadoes on the move. They had numbers there momentarily. Lynch tried his best to get it to Barbone. Now taken away by Pfeiffer. Garcia battling for it with Lata. Brought down by O'Callahan. Garcia once again. Garcia. And blasted forward by Eford. And Rossi's going to try to settle things down a little bit. Big boot there, just a flip of the field, but it'll end up in Jafar's hands. Junior goalkeeper for the Pfeiffer Falcons, the 5 seed in this USA South Conference tournament. Other game happening this evening, Southern Virginia and William Peace. And that's cleared out all the way to Kings Creek. Might have to get a little fishing expedition for that one. As Halloween on the Brevard College campus continues to roll on here. A soccer extravaganza. Corner kick here for Pfeiffer. It'll be Diego Moran. Rossi able to punch that out, and there was a foul in the meantime as Rossi was hit to the ground also. Well, update from the other USA South Conference tournament game this evening. William Peace 3, Southern Virginia 0. So William Peace, the number 3 seed, advances. They will play NC Wesleyan in one of those two semifinals. The winner of this will play at Methodist on Thursday. So 3 of the 4 semifinalists have been determined. And anxiously awaiting what's going to happen here this evening, a tie ball game with just over 30 minutes to play in the second half. De Silva plays it forward. Barbone trying to go up high. Now Alex Michael uses Soriano. Rocha. And De Silva is fouled hard. And a stoppage of the clock. We may see another yellow card. Yes, indeed, we do. That was Kareem NJ. Freshman out of Harrisburg, North Carolina. As Igor De Silva able to get up on his own accord and back to action here. Tom DeSuge playing that forward in the direction of Barbone. Under 30 minutes to play now. DeSuge once again. DeSuge again coming up with it. Here's Igor De Silva. De Silva moves to his right, then plays it into the center of the field. Aiden Miller back defensively. McCabe there as well for the NATOs. Now Morgan playing it back. Neither team able to really settle things down. Here's Fleming James. DeSuge, beautiful play by the outside part of his foot. Takes incredible coordination to pull off a play like that, and the skill of Tom DeSuge. .28:30 to play second half. Got some Pfeiffer subs looking set to check in. .28:05 and counting. Cade Van Eden and Jaden Wright getting set to check in for the Falcons. Meanwhile, here's Valdez. Barbone with the takeaway. And Barbone with some jostling there with Rosales. Check that Lynch in Rosales. And McCabe will throw it in for the NATOs. Now here's Barbone along the left wing. Soriano plays it forward to Valdez. Then Michael up ahead to Lata. Lata playing it forward, looking for NJ. And here come the subs for the Falcons.
Entering the match for the Falcons,
Entering the match for the Falcons, number 6.
Cade Van Eden and Jaden Wright entering the match. Both of them entering in the attacking options for the Falcons.
.26:33 to play here. Here come the NATOs the other way. De Silva playing it forward. Garcia. Big cross there, looking for Barbone. Dangerous situation from the Pfeiffer perspective. Meanwhile, De Silva, great takeaway there, cutting into that passing lane. Rosales. Jaden Wright. And De Silva is going to be called for the foul on Rosales. .45 to play. A 15-7 shot advantage for Brevard. James. Now Wright. Rosales. James again. Aiden Miller there defensively for the NATOs. Throw in here for the NATOs. It'll be McCabe. De Silva plays it right back to McCabe. McCabe with the long ball there. Defended well by Michael. 24-35 and counting. Barbone applying pressure. It's going to be Pfeiffer's ball. Barbone thought otherwise. Eford. Rocha. Eford again. Rosales now. Seems like Pfeiffer a little bit more possession these last few minutes. Lata. Defended by Daniel Morgan. Morgan plays it out of bounds. It'll be Pfeiffer's throw-in. Michael uses Eford. Soriano. Back to Michael. Slide tackle there from McCabe. It'll be Pfeiffer ball on the throw-in. Just over 23 minutes left, second half. All tied up at 1. Here's Lynch. Lynch on the move. Lynch plays it forward to Barbone. Tornadoes with daylight. Here's Lynch. Lynch. And brought down in the box. No foul. Everyone in the building, with the exception perhaps of the Pfeiffer bench, thought there should have been a penalty kick there. And instead, play on all the way around. Ryan Lynch not getting any bit of the benefit of the doubt. Meanwhile, another sub getting set to go for the NATOs. Jarek Moreno, freshman midfielder. Garcia. Taken back possession for the Falcons. Rosales. James. James with the throw-in. Here's Wright. Brought down by Igor De Silva. Igor De Silva. It's going to play a long ball to Lynch. Nice idea. There was some opportunity there, but it's also a tough ball to connect on. And sub here for the NATOs.
Entering the match for the Tornadoes, number 31, Jarek Moreno. Moreno gonna step into that forward slot. Moreno gonna step in on that outside. He's gonna push Ryan Lynch to the center forward spot.
Moreno checks in. Starting to reach real crunch time here. Just 20 minutes to go, 21 minutes and change, and we haven't seen any more scoring since that Miller goal in the 40th minute that equalized things. And if the score remains tied, you're going to feel the drama continue to rise here. The nerves will reach a heightened state. Cool night. In fact, temperature continues to drop. Currently 46. We've been telling you it feels colder than that. There's a dampness in the air. There's wind. It feels colder than 46 for these student athletes, and as well as the fans. Great crowd here, and gotta hand it to them. Add a couple extra blankets, a couple extra layers, a beanie, and you're good to go. 19:50 to play here, second half. Free kick here for Pfeiffer. They haven't had many of these set piece opportunities. Moran. And not sure if it was an offsides or a foul on Pfeiffer, but either way, it's going to be a free kick for the NATOs. $19:15 to play here in the second half. Battle there in the air, won by Pfeiffer. Now Silva trying to play it forward. O'Callahan to Igor da Silva. Here's Garcia. Garcia. Wanted a foul call there, but to no avail. 18:45 to play. 1-1 in this USA South Conference first round matchup. Jose Felipe Garces. We saw him in that first half, played 11 productive minutes. Here's Miller. Miller up ahead to Marino. Marino. Ball's off of the NATO, so it'll be Pfeiffer ball. Here's Lynch. Igor da Silva. Garcia. Overlapping, there's O'Callahan. Barbone set to check in as well. $17:40 to play here in this second half. Silva. Marino. Taken away by James. Here's Rosales. Here's DeSuge. DeSuge. Garcia. Lynch believes he was pulled down by his jersey. Pfeiffer with 11 fouls, Brevard with 10, each team with one yellow card. So pretty even in terms of the statistics. in those departments.
Entering the match for the Falcons, David Cabello. Entering the match for the Tornadoes, Rocco Barbone, as well as Jose Felipe Garces.
So Jose Felipe Garces checks back in, also Rocco Barbone. And also seen David Cabello. We saw him play 9 minutes in that first half. Cabello, freshman from Kannapolis, North Carolina. Here's Barbone. Barbone up ahead. Had Lynch, but little too much mustard on that one. It'll be a Pfeiffer throw-in. You can see the anxiousness starting to crank up for both teams. And sometimes that can be to a detriment. You know, you want a sense of urgency, but at the same time, you need to make good connections in terms of your passes, maintain possession, and build up towards a goal-scoring opportunity. And we'll see if either of those teams is able to accomplish that in this final 15 minutes of the second half. Although set pieces are the variable in all that, Tornadoes' goal came off a corner kick. 14:53 to play, second half. Eford. Rocha playing it forward. Taken away nicely by DeSuge. Now up ahead was McCabe. Tornadoes have some numbers here. Here's Lynch. Lynch. Plays it there to Garces. Garces. Crosses it in. Lynch had it momentarily. That was a compelling pass by Garces. He found Lynch, but Lynch not quite able to turn around on it and fire off a shot. A nice attack there for the Tornadoes between Garces and Barbone, Igor da Silva pushing up, Lynch as well. Cross there intended for Lynch. Barbone was in the area also. $13:30 to play, half number 2. Lata. McCabe, nice job defending there. Great tackle, Colin McCabe. McCabe now uses Morgan. Morgan up ahead of Garces. Garces was trying to use O'Callahan. Nice tackle by Eford. 13 minutes and counting. And a goal there for the NATOs. Just like that, the go-ahead goal. And it's none other but Ryan Lynch with the finish. Oh my, Ryan Lynch with the go-ahead goal. So just like that, Ryan Lynch able to get the go-ahead goal for the Tornadoes, and this building has suddenly come alive here at Islamel Family Field. 12:53 to play. Lynch, the all-time leading goal scorer. That's his 34th career goal, his 12th of the season. And down to 12:35 to play here at Lamel Family Field. It's been a great one between these two USA South Conference teams and the Tornadoes. With the go-ahead goal, Pfeiffer now looking for an equalizer of their own. You can see the sense of urgency, but also the momentum suddenly on the Tornado side. And it's going to be a free kick for Pfeiffer. James is going to actually leave it off to Lotta. So now in many ways it's Tornado's defense who are on the clock to hold on to this lead for this final 11 minutes and 40 seconds. Here's Igor da Silva. And it's going to be a foul on Pfeiffer. Momentarily, they had given the advantage call to the NATOs. Morgan plays it quickly. Rodrigo Garcia set to check back in. Here's Garces. Nobody home on that offering. And 11-11 to play here in the second half. A lot of excitement. The defending USA South Conference tournament champions. Many of these players part of that team last year. The tournament experience in these kind of situations. Igor da Silva playing it forward. Here's Lynch again. Lynch defended there by James. Lynch continuing to control the action via the dribble. And then he's knocked down to the turf. It's going to be a foul on Pfeiffer. Cabello gets caught with his hand in the cookie jar. And it'll be a free kick for Ryan Lynch. And got an injury meanwhile. Looks like Barbone. Free kick there from Lynch. Looked like a direct shot on goal, but over the top. Pfeiffer trying to work quickly the other way. Continuing possession. Just over 9 minutes to play. Here's James. James plays it forward off the foot of Morgan. Be a throw in here for Fleming James. Tornadoes, 9 of their 10 field players back defensively. The only player still up front is Lynch. Garces plays it out nicely, but back to James. Firing off a shot there. And Rossi, that's the sort of play that's not seen in the box score as Rossi covers up that loose ball. That would have been a corner kick had he not. 8:25 to play, second half. And a header there, and that's going to be a goal, the equalizer for Pfeiffer. And it was number 22, Alex Michael. And just like that, the ebbs and flows of this game. We are back and all tied up. 2 goals apiece. Falcons goal number 22, Alex Michael. So the equalizer by the Falcons, and the beat goes on here at Islamel Family Field. All sorts of drama. Alex Michael with the finish. And all tied up at 2. Just 8 minutes here in regulation. If it's not decided in these next 8 minutes, we're heading to 20 minutes of overtime play. Here's Lynch. Lynch, through ball there. Scooped up by the goalkeeper of the Pfeiffer Falcons, Ali Jafar. .725 and counting, period number 2. Aiden Miller plays it out of bounds. And set to check back in here for the Falcons is Njai. Entering the match for the Falcons, number 7, Kareem Njai. So Njai checks in for presumably these final 6:45 of regulation. Barbone battling along those sidelines. Actually, check that, McCabe battling there. Barbone's actually out of the game at the moment. And now it's looking like he's getting set to check back in. So, right on cue. It's almost like we manifested Rocco Barbone heading back into this one.
Rocco Barbone set to take this throw in.
That's for your Tornadoes, number 6, Rocco Barbone.
Ball's going to be turned over quickly there to Pfeiffer. Barbone with the header to keep it in.
And McCabe then back to action there. Lynch fires off a shot. Lynch scored what was the go-ahead goal. Now we're back all tied up at 2. Lynch on the day has fired off 7 shots to lead all players in this contest. 5:20 to play. Aiden Miller battling for it. What a game he's had, including his first collegiate goal. And it'll be Tornado throw-in. Just over 5 minutes left. All tied up at 2. Dos Santos set to check in. And it'll be a Pfeiffer throw-in, 4:30 to play. All tied up at 2. McCabe there defensively. Nice job by Lata to beat him. And that's going to be offsides on the Falcons. 4th offsides on Pfeiffer this evening. 4:10 to play. Half number 2. Garces. Barbone. Here's Sam O'Callahan. Great overlapping run from him. And there's a hard foul on O'Callahan. And it's going to be a free kick for the NATOs and a stoppage of the clock with 3:49 to play. So it'll be Ryan Lynch, sort of in the neighborhood of a corner kick, this set piece. Lynch sends it into that goal mouth. Igor da Silva tried to get a piece of it. Lynch sends it in again. And played out by Pfeiffer nicely. Stout defense from the Falcons that time around. And meanwhile, a substitute for the Tornadoes is going to be Kawe Dos Santos. Entering the match for your Tornadoes.
Dos Santos going to check back into that midfield spot for the Tornadoes. He got a big break, so now he's providing some fresh legs, so to speak, in that midfield opportunity.
Good contributions from Daniel Morgan, who checked out. Meanwhile, it's going to be a Pfeiffer goal kick as we're under 3 minutes to play. We saw overtime and penalty kicks in the women's soccer game. Unless something happens in these last 2 minutes and 45 seconds, we may be heading to overtime again here. McCabe, nice job winning that ball in the air. Here's Garces. Garces plays it forward. And covered up there by Jafar. Just over 2 minutes left. Brevard with a 19-9 shot advantage. Yet the score 2 goals apiece. Brevard, 9 of their 19 shots on goal. 7 saves by Jafar. Down to 95 seconds. Pfeiffer in their attacking zone. Tornadoes defense needs to hang tough here. Firing off a shot there, just an absolute rocket, was Fleming James. Oh my. Put a lot of leg into that one. Sailed over the crossbar, and Rossi with a goal kick here. Down to 70 seconds. One minute remaining. So down to our final minute of action as DeSuge plays it out of bounds. Pfeiffer in the attacking zone again. Tornadoes defense have to mind their P's and Q's here. Now 35 seconds left. Pfeiffer plays it back onto the attack. It's going to be a foul on the Nados, and it's going to be a free kick, but a stoppage of the clock here to get things settled. 22 seconds left to play. And a free kick here, set piece for the Falcons. Down to 14 seconds to play. Cleared out by the Nados. 10, 9, 8.
Dos Santos clearing that out of bounds towards Kings Creek. Time dwindles down. Your score at the end of regulation is Falcons 2, Tornadoes 2. We will be headed into overtime here at Islamo Family Field.
So, Melody, a wild second game of this doubleheader. We saw the women's soccer team go to overtime all the way to penalty kicks. Tornadoes and Falcons heading to overtime as well. And just a wild affair. scoring started back in the first half. Falcons actually struck first. Benjamin Landaverde on an assist from Rosales. That was back in the 27th minute. Pfeiffer had that 1-0 lead for the next 13 minutes until Aiden Miller with his first collegiate goal off an assist from Ryan Lynch slammed it home. In the second half, these two teams remained tied at 1 all the way until the 78th minute, and that was when Sam O'Callahan on a beautiful assist found Ryan Lynch, and Lynch, the all-time leading goal scorer in Tornadoes NCAA era history, able to give the Tornadoes a 2-1 lead, but just 4.5 minutes after that, Alex Michael, assisted by Soriano with the equalizer, and then neither of these teams able to move ahead in the final 8 minutes and 17 seconds of this one. And that brings us to overtime. And if you're not familiar with these championship overtime scenarios and rules, each team will face off against each other for 2 overtime periods of 10 minutes each. Each overtime period will be played to its entirety, and there's no golden goal per se, so no sudden death. So if goal scored, we're still going to play 20 minutes either way. There'll be a break after 10 minutes. The first overtime period, the two teams will switch sides. Then if we're still tied after all that, we'll head to penalty kicks. So just a fascinating night of soccer, both on the women's and men's side so far, and a lot at stake here, as the winner of this will advance to the USA South Conference semifinals. Melody, it's been a fantastic night of soccer here, Halloween at Brevard College.
It's been a very exciting night. It's been a thriller to watch. Everything with the women's match going into overtime and PKs, and the women's team coming away with it. And now the men's team going into overtime as well. Energy is high here at Islamo Family Field on this Halloween night.
Yeah, the big congratulations to the women's soccer team. A big victory in penalty kicks. That was a 0-0 game all the way through the 110 minutes. And meanwhile, 2-2 here, so more scoring here. And then Tornadoes women able to defeat Meredith in those penalty kicks. Abby Nunez, a big star of that. She came in just to be the goalkeeper for the penalty kicks and was able to come up with a huge save and also score on the offensive side. But these two teams are going to continue to leave it all out here on Islamel Family Field. And these championship settings where one team survives, the other team, their season will conclude tonight. It's an emotional setting, and can't wait to see what's in store these next 20 minutes of action. Tornadoes, the 4th seed in the USA South Conference tournament. Pfeiffer seeded number 5. Methodist, the number 1 seed, will play the winner of this matchup. There was a game earlier this evening. William Peace defeated Southern Virginia in the 3-6 matchup. So William Peace will play at NC Wesleyan in the other semifinal. And we'll continue to march on here in USA South Conference tournament play. So time for overtime period number 1 here at Islamel Family Field. As a final huddle for the Tornadoes in the home white uniforms. A lot of experience in that huddle. Guys who were able to come up with 3 wins last year at the USA South Conference Championship Tournament and advance all the way to the NCAA Division III tournament by winning that championship. The banner can be found right here at Islamel Family Field. And guys like Igor Da Silva, Ryan Lynch, Tom DeSuge, Rocco Barbone, Marco Silva. These are veteran players who've been in these scenarios before, and we'll see what's in store as overtime period number 1 is underway. DeSuge plays that forward. Check that. Aiden Miller plays it forward. .928 and counting, just underway here in the first overtime period. Headed out by Miller. And then DeSuge with a header. Miller on the defensive side. So far in early goings in this first overtime period, a lot of the action on that far side of the field. Great takeaway here by the Natives. As Portillo, who's checked back into the game, making an early statement. Freshman from Miami. DeSuge wins that in the air. Igor Da Silva fighting for it. And the foul's going to be on Da Silva. So it'll be a free kick for the Pfeiffer Falcons. Tornado's defenders holding the attackers at the 18-yard mark. Meanwhile, playing it forward there was Lada. He's had a great ball game, Mateo Lada. And Rossi will do the honors of the goal kick. Puts a big foot into it. Barbone able to win it momentarily, and now an injured player for the Falcons. So head athletic trainer for Brevard College, assisting Xander Eford. And looks like Eford is going to check right back in. So good to see he's up and running. Meanwhile, Barbone heads it forward to Lynch. Portillo now with the throw-in for the Natos. A long throw-in for Portillo in the direction of Lynch. And some contact there between Portillo and Rocha. .650 to play in the first overtime period. This ball is going to scoot all the way to the other end. And Rossi lets it roll out of bounds. Cool, calm, and collected. Mateus Rossi, the sophomore goalkeeper from Victoria, Brazil. Now Rossi will handle the goal kick. Rossi plays it short to DeSuge. DeSuge up ahead. Dos Santos had it momentarily. Now taken away by the Falcons. Meanwhile, right back to the Tornadoes. Here's Lynch. Lynch. Quite the cutback there, but intercepted by Moran of the Falcons. Foul there on Brevard, so it'll be a free kick here on this near sideline. It'll be Lata. He's handled most of these for Pfeiffer. Puts a big left foot into it. Check that. It was actually Rocha that time around handling the free kick. Here's Lynch. Neither team really able to settle at the moment, trying some long ball and that kind of thing. 4:45 to play here. Period number 3. Throwing for Pfeiffer on that far sideline. Miller playing it forward for the NATOs. It'll be coming back the other way, throw in for the Falcons. First overtime period here at Isla Family Field in this men's soccer matchup. We'll play the full 20 minutes. Split up in 2 overtime periods. No golden goal. So in other words, it's not a sudden death situation. We'll play the 20 minutes regardless. And offsides there on the NATOs. Just the second offsides of the evening for the, or check that on the Falcons, that last offsides. Their 5th. Tornadoes just 1 offsides tonight. Here's Igor da Silva. Garces. Portillo. Nice work there along that right side. Igor da Silva getting folks organized. He'll go with a long throw in here. He's looking for Barbone, who is swarmed by a number of Falcon defenders. And now a foul on Barbone. And several subs coming for the Falcons. .2:12 to play here. Overtime number 1. We're still stuck on a 2-2 score. Neither team with too many opportunities here in this overtime period. Portillo. Portillo. What a beautiful display of skill from Portillo. Was looking for that far post, Colin McCabe.
Entering the match for the Falcons, Cade Van Eden,
Number 16,
Benji Landaverde, and Jaden Wright entering the match for the Falcons.
Portillo. That was really well done on that right side, and then was looking for McCabe with the cross. Just as we had stated that there weren't too many opportunities so far in this overtime. Tornadoes came up with a big one there, but unable to cash in. DeSuge plays that to the other side of the field and out of bounds. He's so effective at clearing those out. 1 minute.
Michael
1 minute remaining. Overtime number 1.
Soriano.
Neither team able to get much continuity going on the offensive end. Down to the final 40 seconds of overtime period number 1. Wind picking up considerably. We'll switch sides. Tornadoes currently going into the wind. They'll have the wind at their back for the second overtime period. Now 20 seconds left to play here. Overtime number 1. And that'll just about do it here, most likely. 9, 8.
Brevard is going to hold the ball for the last remaining seconds in this first overtime period. Score at the end of the first overtime period is Tornadoes 2, Falcons 2.
Overtime period number 2 coming up next. So the two teams remain locked at 2 goals apiece. What are you noticing, Melody, and what's going to be the difference maker in this one?
I think the difference maker is going to be just who wants it more. You can clearly tell that there's a sense of urgency from the Tornadoes as well as from the Falcons.
Yeah, certainly the sense of urgency is there. I mean, can't be any more at stake than this. Your season's going to end if you don't come up with a victory. When you take it all the way to penalty kicks, it's a bit of a gamble. You know, those penalty kick shootouts, both these teams would rather get it done during this second overtime period with a go-ahead goal. But what we saw in that first overtime period was very little offensive production. And perhaps now that first overtime period is sort of out of the way, the Tornadoes kind of getting their legs back, the feel back for things, the sense of urgency that you mentioned is going to ramp up that much more. And this will be fascinating, this second overtime period. All tied up at 2. High stakes on Halloween night at Islamel Family Field. Great fan base here at Brevard College, continuing to stick around despite some cold conditions. Currently 45 degrees and dropping. A freeze warning in effect for later tonight. And we mentioned the wind. It continues to blow from right to left on your screen. So it's currently at the back of the Tornadoes. And back underway here. 9:45 to play. Second overtime period. De Silva clears it out. Just underway here. Overtime period number 2. Rocha playing it back and forth with Michael. Rocha once again. Rocha is going to play a long ball here. Miller wins it in the air. McCabe battling for it. Taken away there by Landa Verde. He's got a goal today. Wright played it forward. $8:25 to play. Rosales. James. Here's Ryan Lynch. Lynch cutting to his right. Lynch now turning. No foul called. A lot of body there by the defender of the Falcons. Lynch now plays it forward. Barbone trying to get a give and go going. Soriano plays it out for the Falcons. 7:40 to play. Overtime period number 2. Here's Igor da Silva. Plays it forward. Lynch on the move. Jafar had to go all the way out of his penalty box to clear that out. Just over 7 minutes to play. Looks like Daniel Morgan set to check it back in for the NATOs.
Checking in on the match, Daniel Morgan.
Match for your Tornadoes, number 27, Daniel Morgan. So 6:45 to play here. Da Silva plays it forward. Morgan, fresh legs for the NATOs. Here's Lynch. Ryan Lynch on the move. Was looking for that near post, but just wide. Oh my, that would have brought the house down. Silva plays it forward. McCabe. Taken away by Pfeiffer. Rosales. Here's Van Etten. Up ahead to Landa Verde. Miller. O'Callahan. Morgan. Misplayed there. Possession back to the Falcons. DeSuge with a big play in the air. Check that, Silva. Morgan applying pressure. Neither team able to get anything going. Back and forth we go. They playing these long balls back and forth, kind of sloppy play. Neither team able to bring it down and connect on passes. Perhaps some fatigue setting in. Fatigue combined with anxiety over these last 4 minutes and 50 seconds and the prospect of maybe going to the incredibly tense situation of penalty kicks. 4:35 to play here. Second overtime period. Rossi set things up from the back. Here's Silva. Miller. McCabe. Silva once again. Silva plays a long ball, opposite field, looking for O'Callahan. Now Igor da Silva. Garces plays it off to Lynch. Well defended by the Falcons. Miller back to Lynch. Lynch crosses it in. Off the head of Morgan. Oh, my. Incredible save there. Jafar as Morgan using his head. It'll be a corner kick for the NATOs. Lynch sends it into that goal mouth. Opportunity for the Tornadoes. Miller was there once again. Oh my. High drama. Here at Heis Lamel Family Field. Pfeiffer able to regain possession. And meanwhile, the Tornadoes on the move. Garces. O'Callahan. De Silva. Under 3 minutes to play. And that's going to be a foul on Brevard. 2:45 left to play here, period number 3. Check that period number 4 when you add them all up. Overtime number 2. Final 2 minutes and 30 seconds of overtime before we'll go to penalty kicks if this is still knotted up. 3 subs await for Pfeiffer if they get the opportunity. Rossi's going to bury that one there. Now it's going to play it forward, try to play it with a punt. Kind of went off the side of his foot, unfortunately. Miller battling for it. Now Garces. Garces. Taken away nicely by Pfeiffer's right. 2 minutes to play. Lynch. Lynch on the move. Played out of bounds by the Falcons. 1:50 to play. McCabe will handle the throw-in. Both these teams running out of time to try to take the lead in overtime. 95 seconds. Here comes Pfeiffer the other way. Pfeiffer continuing with possession. Now 80 seconds left. Turns it over there to McCabe. McCabe trying to play it forward. Morgan plays it down. Looking for Lynch. As we approach the 1 minute mark.
McCabe to take the throw to Lynch. Lynch trying to chip his defender, send it to Morgan.
And back at it here is De Silva. 45 seconds left to play. Lynch trying to play it far side. Now 35 seconds. Pfeiffer trying to counterattack of their own right, but it's taken right back away by the Tornadoes. Garces, what a factor he's been this one. Now 22 seconds left to play. That ball's blasted out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in for the Tornadoes. Down to the final 15 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7,
O'Callahan
6,
firing one off,
5,
blocked.
4,
McCabe sending it in.
2, 1.
Jafar clearing that one. Lynch right there knocking on the door. At the end of overtime number 2, Tornadoes 2, Falcons 2. This game is now headed into penalty kicks.
Oh, my. Melody, we're into another penalty kick shootout here at Heis Lamel Family Field. A thriller here at Heis Lamel Family Field. Stick with us. Penalty kicks coming up next. So this game was tied 2-2 at the end of regulation, at the end of both overtime periods, and that means we're heading to penalty kicks here per NCAA championship rules in this USA South Conference championship tournament first round. We had penalty kicks in the women's soccer game. The Tornadoes won that matchup by the score of 4-2. And we'll be seeing it here. Between Brevard and Pfeiffer. This will be fascinating. So an incredible evening of soccer. 2 matches, 2 penalty kick shootouts. You can't ask for anything better. Score was 2-2. We'll reset everything on our scoreboard here to 0-0. And we'll be shooting into the west goal, into the wind. Goalkeeper getting set for Pfeiffer. Ali Jafar, who has played an excellent ball game all evening long, will be the goalkeeper for Pfeiffer. Meanwhile, goalkeeper for the Tornadoes, Mateus Rossi, a sophomore from Brazil. Much of the spectators have moved their way down the field so they can be close to the action. And high stakes. Now, the Tornadoes were in this situation last year, right here at Isla Lamel Family Field. Part of that great tournament run. They won the penalty kick shootout. And first up is going to be the Tornadoes. So the Tornadoes will go first. And it'll be Ryan Lynch first up. Ryan Lynch will tee things up. Against Ali Jafar, the goalkeeper for the Falcons. The shot from Lynch. It's true. Ryan Lynch gives the Tornadoes a 1-0 lead. So an early advantage for the Tornadoes thanks to the all-time leading goal scorer, Ryan Lynch, the senior from Charlotte, North Carolina. Mateo Lata, number 10, junior from Vestal, New York. What a game he's had. And he'll have the first opportunity here against Mateus Rossi. And Rossi makes the save. The save from Mateus Rossi. And the Tornadoes fans erupt. And an early 1-0 advantage as Rossi with the save. So next up for the Tornadoes will be Daniel Morgan, sophomore forward from England. Northumberland, England, King Edward IV school. And Daniel Morgan with an opportunity here, and he scores. A solid shot from Morgan. Upper right, and just like that, a 2-0 lead for the Nados. It'll be Alex Michael Freshman from New Orleans, Louisiana, facing off against Mateos Rossi, the Tornadoes goalkeeper. The shot from Michael. And he's able to score it. We're seeing the goals that are working, kind of these blasts, which sometimes can be risky, can sometimes sail over the crossbar, but now 2-1. So it'll be Marcos Silva. So Silva off the top goalpost, rattles in, count it for Marcos Silva. So the Tornadoes now with a 3-1 lead. And it'll be Nico Soriano. Where's number 12, the grad student from Concord, North Carolina? Facing off against Mateos Rossi. Soriano finishes. Lower left corner. So Tornadoes now with a 3-2 lead. And it'll be Rodrigo Garcia, junior midfielder from Sao Paulo, Brazil. Taking the long walk from midfield to that penalty kick location. And Garcia will tee things up. And Garcia finishes to that right lower corner. Jafar guessed right. He dove to the right, and Garcia played it the other direction. And just like that, the Tornadoes with a 4-2 lead. So Falcons in a desperate situation here. Andres Valdez. Valdez, freshman from Miami, Florida, Western High School. Mateos Rossi, goalkeeper for the NATOs. Rossi bouncing back and forth. Hands up. Valdez finishes. That was clutch from Valdez. Falcons back were against the wall. And Valdez came through. Cauê dos Santos will be the fifth shooter for the Tornadoes in this penalty kick shootout, the sophomore from Americana, Brazil. Tornadoes can clinch it here. Cauê dos Santos. And Dos Santos with the finish, and the Tornadoes win. The Tornadoes finish off the Falcons 5-3. And the Tornadoes win.
Tornadoes coming away
Final score in
with all PKs. Tornadoes 5, Falcons 3. Tornadoes will advance to the semifinals.
And the Tornadoes, what a dramatic win in penalty kicks. Defeating the Falcons 5-3. The Tornadoes had 5 penalty kick opportunities. They scored on all 5. Ryan Lynch, Daniel Morgan, Marcos Silva. Rodrigo Garcia, and Kawe dos Santos. Oh, my. Meanwhile, big difference maker in this one also, the save on the very first penalty kick that came from Lata, and Mateus Rossi with the save. Oh, my. What an evening of soccer here at Eyes Lamel Family Field. It's one for the ages, as both the women's game and the men's game go to a penalty kick shootout. Just to review this one, alongside Melody Ferguson, the Tornadoes actually trailed 1-0 in this one, and then found the equalizer from Aiden Miller in the 40th minute to tie it up at 1-1. And then Ryan Lynch in the 78th minute gave the Tornadoes a 2-1 lead. Then Alex Michael of the Pfeiffer Falcons in the 82nd minute tied it all up at 2. It remained tied at 2. We went to overtime. Overtime number 1, neither team able to score. Overtime number 2, neither team able to score. And then the two goalkeepers, Ali Jafar for Pfeiffer, Mateus Rossi for the Tornadoes, got set to go in the penalty kick situation. And Ryan Lynch started things off, was able to make his penalty kick shot. Lata, what a save by Rossi to halt Lata's chance. And then, while Michael, Soriano, and Valdez all scored for Pfeiffer, the Tornadoes were perfect, 5 for 5 in penalty kicks. Lynch, Morgan, Silva, Garcia, and then the clincher, the Kawe dos Santos finish. Tornado celebration ensues, and the Tornadoes will move on to face Methodist in the semifinals of the USA South Conference Championship. The defending champs, the Brevard College Tornadoes, going for it again and starting off the same way they did in 2022 with a penalty kick shootout victory that propelled them to 3 straight wins in a USA South Conference Championship. Well, Melody, what a night of soccer between the women's game and the men's game. It's a Halloween that will never be forgotten here at Brevard College as we've hit the 10 p.m. hour. We started with the women's game at 4 p.m. and a sensational night. Final thoughts before we sign off?
Absolutely an electric night of soccer between both the women's team and the men's team, both moving forward. Both games coming down to PKs. Men's team making all 5 of their penalty shots to move on. Big save from Rossi on the first penalty kick he faced. It's been an absolutely electric night here on Halloween here at Ivesville Family Field.
Yeah, what an opportunity for these fans to soak it all in and for these student athletes to soak it in. A championship feeling. But we've got plenty of work to go, and I'm sure if you talk to Coach Eldana, he's like, hey, let's keep this going. Let's enjoy this one, but we got to take on the number 1 seed Methodist next on the road. That'll be on Thursday. Well, want to appreciate all those who made tonight's operation and production possible. Melody Ferguson alongside, handling color commentary and also production. Justin Espino, dual role, production, also on the 1s and 2s, spinning the music here at Eyes Lamel Family Field. Our statisticians, Pietro Mortelli, Sports Information Director Joseph Marvin, Mauro Alonso on the clock, and then the operations staff led by Kristen Rosado and our athletic director, Miranda Nash, members of the men's basketball team, the women's basketball team, Coach Lee Burgess, big part of this operation also. And this will be the last home soccer event. And what a way to close out the 2023 season. It's been a lot of fun all season long as both the men's and women's team advance in the USA South Conference tournament, but both hit the road. They're both heading to the same place, heading to take on Methodist on Thursday. But just want to thank everybody for all their work all season long. Also, Scott Douglas, who handled the play-by-play, kind of a special appearance from Scott in the women's game, and it's just been a lot of fun to cover both men's and women's soccer this season. Well, stay tuned to Brevard College Tornadoes social media and also bctornadoes.com. Keep up with the tournament throughout. We'll be bringing you as much information as we possibly can, and can't wait to see what's in store for this BC men's soccer team along with the women's soccer team as well. Big events coming up this weekend. There's a volleyball game on Thursday at 6 p.m. That's the regular season finale for the Tornadoes volleyball team. That's at the Bosch. So put that on your calendar for Thursday evening. And then Saturday, senior day for Brevard College football as the Tornadoes host Huntington. Tornadoes football, by the way, #1 in the USA South Conference, undefeated so far. So trying to keep that going as well. Well, a big thank you to you as well, NATO Nation, for continuing to support these student athletes and continuing to tune into these broadcasts. And can't wait to see you at another Brevard College Tornado athletic event soon. Well, from all of us at Brevard College, I'm Phil DeMontmollin, signing off. Your final score for the final time at Eyes Lamel Family Field in penalty kicks. The Tornadoes defeat Pfeiffer 5-3. Go Tornadoes!